What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Daft Previews, and today we're going to preview all the props that you want to go through for this upcoming set of the WNBA. My man Josh from Land Your Bets will be joining us in any minute, so fire up that chat, give me some emojis, say whatever you like. This is a safe place. I'm a little bit nervous about this, not gonna lie. It's been a while since we've done some live streams, but really keen to chop it up with you guys. So to kick things off, whilst we're waiting for Josh, I'll get through some of my bets if you guys didn't get a chance to watch the video that I put up last night, and greet a lot of you guys in the chat at the same time. So feel free to pump your any requests through. So let's go. Let me share my screen and we can get into it. Actually, before we share the screen, just a bit of an FYI. I've decided to do a exclusive discount on my VIP picks for anyone in this live stream. So you can use the code LIVE and get 60% off my VIP picks. That's in the video description of my video. You can feel free to check it out. But let's jump in, shall we? All right, we've got Outlier up. 7-day free trial if you're interested in using Outlier if you haven't used it before. Shout out to those who are in the chat right now. Julius Jones, welcome, my man. Sir Demonetized. That's a cool name. How y'all doing? So I guess I'll get straight through it. We've got 3 games to get through today. Link, Stream, Liberty Wings, Sun, and Sparks. This first game does kick off in an hour. So we've got to be really conscious of time. And that's one thing that I'm not very good at. So let's get straight into your questions then. Thoughts on the Canada assist line? Let's talk about it. Over 5.5 assists. Seems like a wagon. This girl is consistent as they come. Check that out. Post the Olympic break, we're seeing real consistent numbers here. She's pretty much been over this 5.5 in most games outside of the 2. I guess her line normally sits at 6.5, but she always seems to finish at around 6. This game, tough matchup. Obviously, the Lynx, very gritty defensively. So I guess the question is, how is that going to impact her ability to get assists? So we see a reduced line because of how tough this matchup is. But more to my thoughts on it. Look, really, I'm on the fence because I think she'll finish at about 5 or 6. So you could say that this line is somewhat sharp. She's had easier matchups in the past, right? And she hasn't necessarily blown it out of the water. Dallas is an easy matchup. She went crazy with 10. But the Mercury is an easy matchup. She still only finished with 6. The Fever is an easy matchup, only 6. These games here against the Mercury, all easy matchups, still finish on 6. It's weird. But she's had tough matchups as well. Connecticut Sun, still finished with 6. Seattle Storm, tough matchup, still finished with 6. So, look, I don't necessarily hate the idea. I'd lean to the over for sure. But, yeah, maybe Josh can help us out. Jay, what up, man?
What up, bro? My bad.
You're here. You made it.
I've made it. I'm here to help, hopefully.
Jordan Canada assist. Where you at?
I was looking at it. Is it 5.5 still?
Yeah.
Is it plus money for the over?
No.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the under, to be honest. But
yeah.
I mean, I saw all those 6s as well. And my thought process was you don't get dimes on the links, really, is what it came down to. And since I'm taking a bet that kind of correlates with her under, which is a teammate of hers, to get some 3s, that was why I was like leaning much more to the under than anything. She has gotten a good amount of her assists from 3, like driving, kicking back out to people like Ryan Howard, who's shot like 97 threes a game for the last like 4 games.
Yes.
So
yeah, minus 130 to the over. So
okay,
I think the value is definitely in the under for sure.
Okay. Yeah. And this is at 5.5.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I think when I was looking at it last night, it was slightly different. And maybe it did get bet to the over. Yeah. It seems like people were betting the over then.
Right.
To be honest. So yeah, I mean, I stayed away from it, but I leaned to the under. What were you talking about in terms of which way you lean?
I was saying she'll probably finish on 5 on 6. It's like she's had easy matchups, still finish on 6. Yeah. She's had tough matchups against Connecticut, still finish on 6 anyway. So
yeah. Like, and that's once you get to that point, then you're like, I don't where's the edge, right?
Yeah.
And I remember one of the first live streams I ever did for the NBA, I was going back and forth on like a Daniel Gafford bet for like 5 minutes before somebody in the chat was like, yo, there's plenty of other bets. We need to move on from Daniel Gafford. And I get it. Yeah. So that's kind of where I was at with Jordan Canada eventually. I was like, yo, it's time to move on.
Yeah, let's move. All right.
Yeah.
Lonzilli, do we like Holiday? I'm assuming that's Collier.
That'll be my
Nafisa. Let's check her out. First half. I've never necessarily looked into these markets. First half points, but she's cashed in 7 out of her last 10. Now, this, like me personally, I find it very hard to bet on this woman. Her lines are always so high. The potential is there, but she kind of fits that bitch or beast mold where she's going to do 25 points, 10 rebounds, or she'll give you 15 and 6 because the rest of her teammates are picking up the slack. So it's hard for me to make a call on Nafisa, but what are your thoughts?
I like her overs.
You like her overs?
Yeah, I didn't look at first half stuff for her. I looked at over PRA at the end of
Oh,
the day.
right.
And honestly, the one that I like the most out of all three would be rebounds for her.
Okay.
Total beast on the boards.
Give me the sweet science.
Yeah. So but she's at 8.5. So that's why I ended up going for the PRA too. I know it was minus 140. I even saw it at like minus 135 last night, something like that. So that's why I was like, I'll take the PRA. I didn't put a bet down on her yet, but that was the much stronger lean against this defense would be her to be able to kind of bang down low a little bit better.
Yeah. Nothing like banging down low.
Always.
One of my favorite things. Ryan says, Sparks, first quarter spread.
Oh, ballsy.
Now, that's definitely not a bet within my lane. I'm a prop hunter on players. I don't bet spreads at all. The only thing that I'm spreading... Actually, I'm not going to finish that off.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
You were gonna say Vegemite on your toast.
That's right. Sparks, first quarter spread. What are your thoughts on that? I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, so I actually don't know what that is exactly either. I know that the game spread was right around like 9.5 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So if it's still around that, I ended up staying away because I was scared. Yeah, it did move to 10.5, and I thought about hitting 9.5 last night, almost strictly because I knew it was going to move to 10.5. I actually saw some 10s starting to creep up late last night on the West Coast, so it kind of made me think it was going to 10.5. The first half, first quarter spread was like 4 or 3.5, somewhere around there.
Should be something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
against Connecticut.
Yeah, doing hood math, right? That's what it comes out to around there. So yeah, I do think that the Liberty should dominate this game. The only thing that could happen is that they give up offensive rebounds. The only thing. But I also like a McCowan under to be, or I'm looking at a different game. My bad. I was thinking of the no, they are. I was thinking of the Liberty playing the Sparks. The Liberty playing the Wings. The Sun versus the Sparks. More importantly, for why I didn't bet that game, is just the Sun can't shoot. So I like the concept of like, okay, the Sparks are coming out, and players like Rakia Jackson, more than anybody, are going to come out and try. I have this weird thing, and partly why I stayed away from it. I have this weird thing that I'm just like, the Sparks are tanking. Like, it's not even that weird. It's like Hamby's not even shooting anymore. There's nobody else good on this team. So I mean, they've got a couple key players that are out for the season already, as we know. So like, they're all weird and funky to me in a way that's like, maybe some of their backups are coming in and showing that they like are looking for a spot, right? They're playing for something, but nobody else is playing for anything on this team. So
yeah. I've got thoughts on that, but I think I'll say that for another conversation. Let's talk about Sweet Bonner.
Yeah.
Under 15.5 points. On hit rate alone, this is a wagon, especially post the Mabry trade.
Yeah.
Volume's down, usage is down, all that type of stuff. Up against a Spark team which in your opinion, tanking right now, nothing to play for. What are your thoughts on taking Dwana Bonner here?
Yeah, I think I'm about to put this in my Discord as well, which is under 5.5 boards. On the rebounds. Yeah,
that's plus money if the 5.5. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So and there was I've made a couple prize pick slips earlier, and you can get like defensive rebounds or offensive rebounds. So I ended up taking the 5.5 on the defensive rebounds on a slip, but I was also like, yeah, I like the under. I kind of like that number anyway, to be honest, as I was looking at it in a way that, okay, if I'm getting some pretty good juice on it, then I'll take it. But now what's the under at here? Because you got the over up, right?
It's 6.5 minus 135.
Yeah,
I do like this bet, and I don't know if this formed part of your calculation, but when I watched that last game and broke it down, Rakia Jackson was killing him, especially Dejanay Carrington. Couldn't hang with her in that first half. Second half, they switched it up. They put Bonner on her.
Yeah.
Rakia Jackson took the most shots. Bonner not in position to get boards. And if she's going to pick her up for all 4 quarters, I think it's even less likely because she only gets defensive rebounds.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, yeah.
So which particular stat were you looking at for an under for her?
It's just from the chat, really. They wanted to know. They weren't very specific, so we're just touching everything.
No, I got you.
Yeah. Let's talk about one of your bets, though. Check it out.
Yeah. We can get back to that first game real quick. I was mentioning a teammate of Jordan Canada's to go under. So if you look at Ryan Howard, oh, look at that. Sir Demonetized talking about that. What's up, bro? Yeah, I'm looking at under the under 3.5 made threes for her. And that the best number there was -120 on bet 365. Oof. That got nuked,
or it's plus EV to the max on 365, right?
Yeah. So wait, so this thing, yeah. So what's the alt lines there? Because you had 4.5 up for a minute.
So we're looking at under 3.5, right?
Under 2.5 is scary because I have her shooting about 9.5 threes.
Right. You think they're gonna limit her attempts because she's been she's always been a chucker, right? And it was probably 2 weeks ago where I was betting on Ryan Howard over 2.5 3-pointers at plus money, and it was a joy to watch because you'd ladder up to 5 and sometimes she'd cash it, right? And then it moved to 3.5. Like this is just crazy. But her volume is insane. 11.3 3-point attempts over her last 10. But you think she's going to make less than 3.5. Tell everyone why.
Yeah, I think she's going to shoot fewer to start. The only thing that is interesting is that the Lynx do give up attempts from deep, but they're not good attempts. And part of that is coming from Alana Smith. I actually have a highlight reel. This is sicko stupid shit, but I have an Alana Smith video because I was looking at it for a video I made.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's totally PG, except for actually no, it's really not. If you look at the blocks that she's making, it's sexual. It is actual porn because her defense is insane. So after you get blocked by Alana Smith down low a couple of times, you're like, well, let me just stand out here and shoot three. So that's part of it. But Kayla McBride's gonna be draped all over everybody on the wings out there for the Dream. And yeah, they suffocate you around the perimeter. So that's really just, there was a beautiful spot of like, this woman has been taking, it was like making 5.5 threes in the last like 4 games, taking like, what is it? 13, 14 in the last 4 games. So she's been going off. Those teams aren't the Lynx though, right? One of the top 2-3 best 3-point defenses in the league. So
these are all great matchups for her to bomb from downtown, which is why the line moved up and the odds tanked. But we're still seeing similar lines and similar odds, and she's got a difficult as hell matchup today. So I like the look for sure. I think my concern is that she's an absolute chucker. She hasn't seen a shot she doesn't like.
Right.
So she'll shoot fadeaway threes, like one-legged threes. So
to a degree, though, the Dreamer or the Lynx rather are a team kind of like, I'm trying to think of an NBA comp, like the Bucks. Like when Budenholzer was there, they allowed teams to shoot a lot of threes, but it was who they wanted to shoot the threes. Right. They controlled where the ball, and the Warriors do this.
You see a lot of Jordan Canada threes, for example, today.
Precisely. Somebody who is not necessarily a volume 3-point shooter might be getting a few more for the Dream based on how the Lynx play D. Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of teams actually leave Jordan Canada wide open because she just wants to drive to the cup, but it's like, you know what it's like. You've been on the court. It's like, I can't really shoot, but they're kind of giving
me wide open. I know you got to pass up the bad shots though. I know it's tough, but
not me.
no, you check.
What's the next one? Natasha Howard rebounds. Now Natasha Howard's a bit of a chucker herself. Actually, loves it. So it must be a Howard thing. So her line's at 6.5 boards, averaging 7.2 in the last 10. Up against the Liberty today. Against the Liberty so far has a pretty good success rate, 9-8 in the 2 games this season, 30 and 32 minutes. Over her last 10, she's playing 34 minutes a night. So a 6.5 at my casual take is definitely to lean at the over. -132 doesn't necessarily excite me, but you know, if you're playing DFS, the odds don't really matter to you. So I'd lean to the over on Natasha Howard here. But what are your thoughts on that, Jay?
So I actually am looking at under for all of her stuff.
Ooh,
ERA. I'm not looking at like one of your sexy ass parlays that like or
I actually do have one of those parlays for Natasha Howard.
Yeah, and I like that. I like when you get those corollary, you know, the corollary wheels churning. Like I like that.
Yeah.
For her, though, for all these stats, I was looking at an under. I really liked another for those of y'all playing like the DFS stuff. I really did like a under fantasy points. It was up at like 36, 37 for Natasha. This is gonna be a tough matchup, man. Like if they can't do it on the offensive boards, then I don't really know how they're scoring against this Liberty team who has basically just stepped right into the 1 seed and been like, we are the best team in the league, and we should have won the chip last year. So I think that's where they're at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Natasha Howard, I was really leaning towards the under on her points. That's if I was going to look at the under, that's the strongest one I found. I don't care that she's been close or hitting it as of late. It's a matchup thing, but I think this was at 17.5 when I was looking at it. 16.5.
And if you're looking at the points for her, which was a little bit high, like really how she scores. I mean, she's aggressive, so it's like posting up and getting to the free throw line. That's just not how you score on the Liberty, honestly. Like, but they have too many bodies that they can bring in. Obviously, John Quell's been doing her thing too. And then Stewie being like a 6'4" guard that can also block shots is just makes their interior defense so much better.
Yeah. Finally, we've got some calls on Rickea Jackson. I just want everyone to answer this in the chat because, like, I've defined her as one of the pretty girls of the WNBA, right? And I put up a post on Twitter, or formerly known as Twitter, saying that these pretty girls are doing my ass in because I had Dejanay Carrington, I had Satu, and then Rickea Jackson absolutely butcher my bets in 3 consecutive days. And then someone jumped in and put a post saying there's pretty girls in the WNBA, and I was like, shit, have my standards dropped that much? Like, so can you guys let me know, does Rickea Jackson fit the pretty girl mold? But let's talk about her points real quick. I know a lot of people.
All right, but I also have to pause you and I put it in the chat. I'm sorry, but these pretty girls doing my ass in is a wild statement. A wild statement.
Is that not a common term in the US? That's an Australian thing.
Oh, it's common. I've never used it personally, but that's amazing. And yeah, it's a different game, but like, look, confidence is sexy and like swag is sexy. That's why I'm in love with Dejanay Carrington.
Yeah, I agree with this comment.
Yeah. So,
all right, her points. She smoked the Sun in the last game, gave it to Dejanay. They put Bonner on her. She couldn't slow her down.
Yeah.
But 14.5. I like the over personally, but what I'm concerned about are these back-to-back sets. It's ridiculous. Some teams look at it as a playoff series and they adjust everything, and then some teams don't adjust a goddamn thing, and we see a replica.
Yeah.
So
exactly. I don't have that's part of the weirdness of this game is that they just played. So like, what was it? 12-point game, right? So, and it was one of those just boring games where it was like, nobody in the world thinks that the Sparks are going to pull this off, but the Sun don't have an ounce of like care in them. So that's kind of why I was just like, I'm off it. So look, if Rickea Jackson is hitting shots, right? Like, I mean, she took 18 of them, and she only made 1 3. So like, she's just hitting all her spot up. She's getting, pretty close to the rim. And that is where the Sun are the weakest, is at the rim. You can't get inside of 5 feet and score on this squad. So if she's going to go into it down low and try to get points there and be the one trying the hardest, 14.5 is not unreasonable. But after watching her get 23, if the Sun decide that they're tired of that, then the game plan's around her, right?
Yeah. So I think it's just a tough matchup because she's technically a guard or a wing. Jeez, you got to get off the cryptochronic kind of light.
Damn. That's my tightest, bro. Did I not hit the mute button fast enough?
Yeah. I think matchup-wise, Bonner's the only one size-wise that makes sense. And I think she did a better job than Dejanay at slowing her down, but at the same time, Rickea still got her points, but this could be a different ballgame. They could just walk into this game and say, no.
Yeah.
Put those fake-ass eyelashes away because you ain't getting nothing tonight, right? So they could lock her up.
Damn.
I'd get to this. That's why I didn't necessarily bet it.
Yeah.
For me, I was like, I'm just going to take the under on Hamby. Like, Hamby struggled against Connecticut in every game, and the poor bitch gets to go one-on-one with Alyssa Thomas all night. Like, I don't want that. Nobody wants that. So
I'm totally on that. Yeah.
Hey, Josh, what are your thoughts on this play? I think it's a good look, but Sabrina Ionescu over in her points plus assists.
It's a great look. Yeah.
Does this line move like crazy? 25.5 now?
the PA?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I know you bet this. What did you get it at?
I got Sabrina Ionescu over 18.5 points, but I actually just put a half unit. on her 20 plus with the W.
Right. I did the 18.5 as well. Yeah. Now this is at 19.5 her points line.
Yeah.
But I think the points and assists is also a good look for similar
Yeah.
reasons why we take the points. But yeah, so we're both liking the over. Why do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, what I was talking about with her. So there's a couple ways I'm thinking about it. One is, and why I'm kind of back and forth is like the Wings can't stop you if you get into the paint. Like they are not going to play defense down there. Tierra McCown will get the occasional block and maybe like
T-Rex.
Yeah, but like exactly T-Rex to the max. So Domantas Sabonis style, right, with the alligator arms. So no, to if you want to get down low and score, which is there's okay. Let me start with this. Stewie dominated this team twice without Sabrina, so that's what scares me. Jonquel, I hate betting on. She's the one you should be betting on in this game because of the fact that the Wings give up so much down low. But I hate betting on Jonquel because
she doesn't have that dog.
She has that dog. Maybe the boards, but the points. Like, is she going to take enough shots? I don't really know, to be honest.
10.
So that's what annoys me. Yeah, it's like 10 shots is usually what I'm going to see from her. And then so I just went to Sabrina, and instead of looking at where people score from, I was looking at how they score on the Wings, and everything that Sabrina does is something that the Wings can't stop entirely. I put it up earlier, but I'll just rattle it off real quick. As the pick and roll ball handler, that's 6 points a game for Sabrina. This is the second worst defense guarding that. She also scores 3 points a game from the spot up. This is the third worst team at guarding that. Then free throws and transition. Those are the next ways she scores her points. They're dead last in stopping transition. So if Sabrina gets out into transition, or if she tries to drive at all because they run her off the line, then she's very good going to the rim. So I really like her points. It's a nice little bounce back after a couple games under 20. She only scored 20 twice in the since they came back from the break, right? Which is like 2 of like 7. She was dealing with some injuries. She seems to be healthy. I'm pretty good with her to get 20 tonight. And if it's 23.5, 24.5, I think 5 assists is a good number for her dime. So if you get anything at about 20 and 5, so 25, probably good with that.
I'm going to say, fuck yeah, and hoorah. I watched your video last night, and I was like, shit, this guy, we got the same plays again.
You already know.
I took Sabrina's points over immediately when I saw it, because I know how that Wings team plays. I know what they give up. They may not give up the above the break threes, but she's going to kill them on the interior of these drives. She'll get a lot of free throws. And I think my thought process is, because there's a lot of people out there saying that this game doesn't matter. Like these top teams, they don't care. I'm like, the W is different to the NBA. These girls only get to play 40 games a year. They don't get paid much. Like it's not, they're not load managing when they can to save themselves. Like they go out there, they don't even rest during blowouts. Like they keep going. So, and for me, this is a game that Sabrina needs to play well in because she hasn't been great since she hurt her neck. What I love about this play is his volume. She's still taking almost 18 shots per game over the last 10. You're telling me that this girl does not care? Like 10 3-pointers a game? She's just shooting poorly. And she's up against a defense that has no efficiency whatsoever. I think it could be a good game where she can break out. So
and to be fair, so a couple of those, the defenses that she was been playing since she came back, right? The Aces, the Sun, Mercury sucks, Sparks suck, Storm, Aces. So 2 easy defenses and then like 5 or 6 really good defenses. So yeah.
I'm with you. All right, Sabrina overs. We like it. What else we got in the chat? I forgot.
Somebody keeps bringing up Alicia Gray. Can I bring her up real quick?
Fuck yeah, you can. I got a bet on Alicia Gray too.
You did bet on her? You got a bet on Alicia?
I may.
I think the under is the play here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think when I did my video, I was like, this is a really strong lean for me to take the under. Because this is tough as hell for her. But what were they looking at in the chat? Was it PRA points? Regardless, let's talk about it all. Why are you looking at the under for Alicia?
My thing was, I was looking at RA. That was a look that was actually given to me by somebody as well in the Discord. They were like, what do you think of the RA? Took a look. I was like, I like it. No problem with the PRA either, to be honest. You add the 14.5 points there. I mean, look, on the season, she's at about 15.5. So obviously she's been doing well. Even in the last like 20, it's at about 16 even. So like, she's capable of getting the 15 points she needs here. Alicia Gray is one of two things. She's either going to spot up and take a 3, or she's going to bowl into you to get to the basket, right? To get to the free throw line.
She's a shoulder
trying to get out
dropper.
into transition, right? So one of the ways she gets out into transition is the defense of the Dream that helps her get out. She's at the top of the key, so she's she's person leaking out to get that easy layup. That's not how the Lynx don't turn the ball over, right? Like they don't give up points off of turnovers. They don't give up fast break points. That's how she needs to score. They don't really give up free throws. Am I lying? No, they're second best at limiting free throws. I thought I was lying for a second. So yeah, I mean, she's the only thing that scares you about adding the points for me personally is if she gets inside the paint and Alana Smith isn't getting the minutes that she deserves. Shout out Trey Prince as well, because he knows Alana Smith's the GOAT down low. But if she doesn't get the minutes sometimes, and if she's not getting the minutes, then Alicia Gray will have her way. I imagine that they're going to keep her in for enough time to defend down low and keep everything out. So that's my Alicia Gray take.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with it as well. Also, I'm a very emotional guy. I've had a few bets on Alicia Gray post the Olympic break, and she's broke my heart a few times with some terrible plays out there. I like ideal matchups. Everything fit the bill, but she just played poorly, Like she was, again, just trying to draw fouls instead of like score, but then she wasn't getting the calls. So then she was frustrated. Then she just sucked.
Yeah.
So, So I want to bet her under purely from an emotional standpoint.
I feel that.
Yeah. In my head, I was like, "Fuck that."
But you know what, man? Like, if there's anything to that, that's legit. Like, yo, the Lynx are a team that will frustrate you. So if there's a team that you're going to get your head against, it's this team. Maybe like the Storm and the Aces. They just play like aggressive. So
let's get aggressive.
Yeah,
talking about aggressiveness. What do I think about Derek Hamby under PRA? That's one of the plays that I like. I'm already on that. 25.5. And I didn't show it to you guys, but I'll show it to you right now. It's really just this matchup against Connecticut, which is the main thing. But there is a risk involved in taking this under. Lines moved to 24.5, minus 104 to the under. So it was 25.5 about 12 hours ago. And my thought process around this is like this. Under in 5 of 6 against Connecticut. 3 games this season, 16, 21, and 20. Keeping in mind, this 16 PRA was back in June when she was playing like 38 minutes, taking 20 shots a game. Like, that's when that was peak Hamby, peak Pete Davidson, you could say. Right? She's not Pete Davidson anymore. She's just Derek Hamby. She's lost her superpowers. And this matchup is tough as hell. Again, she's got the Alyssa Thomas matchup. No one wants to bang with her down low. Plus, the spark building to the future, Rakay Jackson getting more minutes, more usage rate. Hamby, she's just a bona fide screen setter right now. So, yeah, I do like the under. The risk, though.
How else can you explain that other than they're tanking?
Yeah. Like, I think they're focusing on the development of the young stars. Don't you dare insult these women for tanking.
Don't you dare insult my intelligence with that coach.
I think the risk there is a risk though here with Hamby, and I know that there's a risk because I bet her under maybe 4 or 5 times post the Olympic break, and it's been stressful almost every single time. She's still going to play a fucking lot of minutes, which is scary. She gets a lot of work done in the fourth quarter for some reason, and if the Connecticut Suns say, you know what, Rakay, we ain't giving you shit today, then Hamby's going to get more shots up.
Yeah.
So there is a risk, but I do like the under here for Hamby.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can see the risk, but like, I'm with you. Yeah, under. Once again, if you are on DFS, it's a great under fantasy points play.
I don't even know how to calculate those things, so best of luck to you.
Yeah. not too hard, but it does take a little bit of hood math.
Bit of hood math. Courtney Vandersloot, 4.5 assists. So firstly, the matchup here is ideal. Dallas ain't going to play defense. It's weird. They don't play defense, and it's as if we're going to try to run you off the court, but we have like 2 of the biggest girls in the league. Like, I don't think the style makes sense, but look, I ain't no coach.
I think it's a fair criticism, though, man. Why that's so confusing.
Yeah, it's like we got the heaviest girl in the league. Let's fucking run. What do you guys think? Good plan? Yeah.
Right. It's like we rebound really well, and that's about it. And then we're just gonna play fast.
Yeah. What are my thoughts on the Sloot and her assists? I like them, but not enough to bet on them. Sabrina's usage rate is going to be sky high. I think she could dial up a whole lot of assists. But the way that there's a Liberty team with Phoebish, Sloot, Browner, Sabrina, even Jonquil Jones, they all could get a ton of assists today. So I think Sloot's I'd say she's probably least likely to cover her lines because she's just a team-centric player. There's a lot of hockey assists. I think that'll come from the Sloot. She's not going to be creating as much. But I wouldn't say bet the under. What you smiling at? Did I say something stupid again?
No, it's hilarious. The Sloot is a wonderful nickname. It's so
I don't
good.
say long words, so it's an Australian thing. We abbreviate everything.
It's
Like
so
even
good.
McDonald's. Do you guys know we don't say McDonald's here
Yeah.
because it's too long?
Macca's.
Macca's. We're all about Macca's.
I know it.
All right. Any other thoughts on the Sloot, or shall I move?
No, I'm with you. I think the usage, the ball's just gonna be in the hands of Sabrina the whole time and some Stewie. But one that I want to bring up real quick because we got a play in here from Free Sauce talking about Courtney Williams, and I
cool.
prefer. So if you look at it, Free Sauce brought up Courtney Williams 11.5. That's talking about points. I'm pretty positive. Actually like the under here for Courtney Williams.
She lives in the midi.
Yeah, precisely. It really that's really it. She would have to get all the way to the rim. Doable, doable, but yeah, she just pulls up way too much. She's really not trying to get past the free throw line. That is a place that the Dream will give up points for sure. But the way I see this is as well as the Dream giving up points more from the perimeter. So she's spraying that thing around. So someone brought up the assist. This is one of those, I think the points under, the assists over correlation might be a play. I'm not sure so you know how like negative correlated bets will get you better odds, right?
Yes,
if you're like, I'm going to take the Minnesota team to win, but I'm going to combine it with Nafisa Collier to go under, right? That's negative correlation to get better odds. Yeah. Well, like what happens if I'm taking Courtney Williams over on the assist, but under on the points? How do you think they correlate that I don't think they give you much juice there.
No, it actually works out quite well because I bet that way all the time. I bet that way all the time.
And you get better juice from that?
Yeah. Okay. Because the correlation is if it's 2 overs or 2 unders, because that comes down to opportunity in minutes.
Got it.
Whereas when you take the under, it's like, well, you're expecting her to get the ball a lot, but then you're not it's a specific action.
Because you're saying she has to specifically shoot it. Yeah, that kind of narrows it down. Yeah, that makes sense.
But with some parlay science, looking at the under in her points, over in assists, it's cash in all 3 games against the Dream this season.
Yeah.
It makes sense. What will throw a lot of people off is if you look at her last 10, it's like, really favoring the scoring here, and the assist is somewhat inconsistent. But if you talk about how she's played against this Dream team, the over in assists, under in points is already hitting 3 straight games. Yeah. Now, keeping in mind, I think it was this game Nafisa Collier didn't play where she rattled out 9 assists. Because her usage rate drops with Nafisa there. But for Courtney Williams, I get it. But this last 10, you could easily be convinced to take the points just because she's been hitting this at an 80% rate. Yeah. But it's matchups make fights, especially with a player like Courtney Williams. There's not too many players like her. You know what I mean?
I do.
So she doesn't get all the way to the rim. She'll get a pick and roll, get to that mid-range. She's going to shoot it, or she's dumping it off and getting the assist. It's very straight. Even on a fast break, she'll pull up from the mid-range.
Yeah. It's wild. She loves that shot. So that's about it. And like I said, the Dream do give up from there. But that's not honestly how I see this game going. So.
This is a good insight from Props TJK about Props Madness. So she gets 61% of her points from the mid-range. Atlanta ranked 10th in the points allowed to mid-range, right? What does Atlanta rank in the pick and roll for the ball handler though?
7th. That's what I was looking at too, TJK, which is a good call. That's the one caveat that I brought up is like you can get points against Atlanta in the mid range. But part of that also is the game theory that I have of like, I think there's gonna be a lot more threes going up for the
and you also have to think about, especially in the mid range, they can score from a couple of different ways, different actions, right? So I think like someone in the mid range would be Nafisa Collier as well, like who scores a lot of her points in the mid range, probably 20%. I'm just making shit up, but could be.
Yeah.
Whereas Courtney Williams, a lot of the mid range stuff comes off a pick and roll. So the shot may not be there if the Dream are an adequate team defending the pick and roll.
Yeah, exactly. That's a pretty good point too. I mean, adequate is a good way to put it. The other thing about the Dream is Ryan Howard's a real nice defender. They didn't have her for 3.5 weeks. They've been hurt all over the place. Jordan Canada missed a bunch of time. Tina Charles missed some time. So when you have I was actually expecting them to make a big run. They won 3 games coming back from the Olympic break, and then have just fallen to absolute dog crap since then. So 2-6.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we're not seeing any call outs on Tina.
Yeah, but I had a Tina bet.
I got the same bet.
Hell yeah, bro.
But I've seen Bridget Carlton's name a few times in the chat now. Over 3.5 rebounds. Hit rate on it as of late's crazy. So I'm not surprised to see that come out. 8 out of her last 10. 6 straight games over this number. And in head-to-head matchup, she's hit it in every game this season.
Yep.
Like, I did look at this and I was like, fuck, looks good. But it's just, I can't give you any other reason outside of the fact that she's been hitting it that you should take it.
Right. For the boards.
Yeah.
I Bridget Carlton, someone I probably bet on like 3 times this year. I'm 0-3. So I don't really even look at her shit anymore, if I'm gonna be honest with you. The board for her is like, all right, well, she's standing on the 3-point line on offense.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I talk about Bridget Carlton all the time, but I don't bet it. Like on one of my videos, and I think I was talking about it to the boys in your Discord. It was up against the Fever here, right? Her line was at 9.5. And they're chopping it up, and I was like, you know what you have to look at? Bridget Carlton, 15 points. Right? Yeah. I didn't bet it because I'm a pussy, but she rattles off 16. That would have been like plus 500, plus 600 just to get those 15 points. So she's hurt my feelings a few times in the past as well.
And you look at these numbers for her, like everything is at 4, right? The amount of time she's hit 4 rebounds throughout the whole season is dumb. It's like just here in the last 20 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of 20 games. She has 4 rebounds exactly. So this is sports gambling, not sports betting. So if you want to go for it because the hit rate is 17 of her last 20, I get it. That makes total sense. It's like an 85% hit rate. It's brilliant. I just every single time I'm going to be sitting there being like, man, she's got 3 with like 6 minutes left. I don't want to do that. So
it's one of those things that's like, fuck, her ceiling is 4.
Right. And you're getting minus 130, so you run this through an EV calculator for 2 seconds.
You'd lose over time.
You'd be like, there's no edge to this.
Yeah,
so that's
edgeless. I'm with you. Yeah. We've got a few call outs for Tina now. Let's talk about it. So, Tina Charles, I think we both love the rebounds. You've got her you picked her for a double-double.
Yeah.
I picked her for over 9.5 rebounds and 10 points. So pretty much a double-double. But I got minus 110.
Bastard.
Because I'm a dirty dog.
You outwitted me.
But I did fuck around with a double-double because sometimes you could do over rebounds, 10 points, and include double-double into a parlay, and it will give you more. Sometimes.
It
didn't happen this time, but the double-double didn't make a difference.
Yeah.
But the main thing we're talking about here is her rebounds, which has moved to 10.5. I said it would move to 10.5. I think you called out it would move to 10.5, and it has. But let's talk about why we like Tina's rebounds today.
Yeah. The Lynx don't have very many people that rebound.
That's true, yeah.
It's really I was just really looking at, her to continue to go crazy on the boards. Or anybody, and she has been, but anybody who I thought was going to have a big rebounding game or is capable of a big rebounding game, this is a moment in time where I want to take it. Like I said, I do think that the Lynx are going to be shooting a lot of threes. It's what they do. It's not like Nostradamus saying that shit. It's what they do. So, that does create a few longer rebounds. But the other thing in the WNBA is, like, you can, like, even centers, if you're a little bit taller, you take 2 steps back to the middle of the free throw line, and like you're going to be good to get it against people. There's nobody jumping over other people to get rebounds. Let's put it that way. So she doesn't need to be sitting, in the exact right spot all the time. That's all I'll say about that. And so that's really it. It's going to be her matchup with Alana Smith, who also, when she's in there, will be going for shot blocks, which will leave Tina Charles open for a few more offensive boards. So
King Charles. I like that. Tina. What's my angle on this? It's just really about minutes, opportunities, and matchup. So Minnesota's good at everything but rebounding. The Dream also don't have much depth in that front court. So Parker Tyus out for the season. Ariel Powers is still out. Tina's going to play almost 35 minutes. Ran the numbers through Props Madness. When she, against the bottom 6 teams in rebounding ranking, when she plays more than 30 minutes, she averages 13 rebounds a game. Yeah. So I might have put a bit of money on her to get 13 rebounds again.
That's how you use Props Madness, baby. That's the right way to use it.
Yeah. I don't know. I could get better at using it. So
but that's a great way to use it. Is like put the parameters up where it's like, all right, her hit rate is this, but what about when she plays the minutes that you expect her to play tonight, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly right. So I'm loving Tina Charles. I think everybody is. What about 10.5 though? Are you scared because that line's moved, or would you still?
I'm not. What's crazy was you could get 10.5 for like minus 115 last night as well. So 10.5, it's at plus money there. So like, yeah, that movement, it's fine by me too. You could like it was 11. I forget what it was now. 9.5 was minus 144. 10.5 was probably then, yeah, it was like minus 115. You didn't get that much better. So yeah, that over with plus money, I love that. The fact that you can still find that.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about that.
All right, let's eat it up. Tina Charles, take her over. Yeah, the 10.5 doesn't scare me. If anything, I'd prefer 10.5 than 9.5 at the odds. So
Yeah.
that makes the most sense. Free source, I see you, baby. Odyssey Sims.
I love her so much.
Like appearance, play style.
Well, I mean, play style, yeah.
Arm length, I don't know, but
no, I mean, look, I mean, I wouldn't say no, but either way, like it's tougher. Anyway, moving past that part, I just love her game. I haven't looked at her stuff yet, but I can see. I think Freestyle's call for the under, right?
Yeah.
On that, and I could definitely see that because of a lot of reasons. Yeah.
I love the under. I tell you what, the good thing about Odyssey Sims is, like, she's a type of player that will, she'll kind of stick to the script. It's like a Styles makes fights type of thing. Good matchup, she's going to whip that big old thing out and start putting it on people. You know what I mean? But when that matchup is tough, it shrivels away. It gets tucked in between her legs, and no one gets to see it or taste it. And today, that matchup is difficult as fuck. It's tougher than the skin of my elbows, and it could be one where she puts it away. So 10 points against Connecticut in that last game.
Yeah. I mean,
28 minutes. She took 12 attempts, though. The volume could be a little bit scary, but
yeah, the volume would be worrisome.
Yeah.
What are we looking at? Like probably like 8 to 10 shots tonight.
Yeah, 8 to 10 shots. She normally shoots at about 40%, but that's exaggerated by these games against weaker defenses. A lot of these are layups, just driving in there, transition and layups, whereas Connecticut probably not going to give those up to guards.
Yeah.
So,
man, if the Fever didn't suck at defense, they'd be like the best team in the league. Just looking at how she torched them.
Yeah, but then they wouldn't be fun to bet on.
I know. Yeah.
I love the Fever and the Wings, man.
Whew. Yeah, that's true. Points are coming.
Yeah.
The under is the lean for Sims. At 11.5, still probably worth it. Minus 118 is a good number.
I think it still carries some risk, right? Yeah. Because since she's made it into the starting lineup, right? We're about 6 games in, making it into the starting lineup. She's a second or third highest scorer, right? Then the risk of Rakaya Jackson, if she gets shut down, Odyssey Sims probably can take more shots too, because she can get her own basket.
Yeah.
So I think it does carry some risks, but definitely leading to the under based on the matchup and everything like that. For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Leaf has a good one there. Stewie and the dimes. I think I was looking at a model earlier, was like 4.5 dimes was a good number for her. And if she's at like, he's saying
3.5.
Is it 2.5 or 3.5? I wonder.
3.5. But
is it? Okay.
Maybe on Prize Picks or something, it could be 3 straight.
Yeah.
So.
Right. That makes sense.
I like it. Plus money play. I don't think you can put too much stock into the games against Dallas this season. No Sabrina.
Yep.
But I think the play for Brianna Stewart will probably be a combination of points plus assists. But I know that this line's also moved. This 25.5, it's moved 2 points, I think. So we may have missed the edge.
Oh, it's like 27.5 now?
No, I think it was a lot lower when I looked at it last night. I don't remember the number, but I think the 25.5, it's already seen some movement. But I definitely lean to the over here against Dallas. It looks good, but again, no Sabrina in these 2 games.
Right.
It's tough to make a call on it.
Exactly. That's what's so annoying about that as well. I was bringing up with Sabrina is like Stewie did great. She actually went under in her points one time, the second matchup there. And that wasn't even a blowout, I don't think. I think that one was a little bit closer. Am I tripping on that actually?
This most recent one, 8-point game.
Yeah, 8-point game. That one's a little bit closer, and she still probably partly because she shot like 5 for 18 in that game.
Yeah, she did.
And so she was still really close to her points in that one. So I mean, I think if you want to take like PRA, PA, that kind of thing for Stewie, I think that's a good play.
Yeah, I think it is too. Let's talk about John Jones, not Bones Jones, but
you threw me off for a bit, so I thought about it. Johnny J. We can call her Johnny J.
Yeah, because I think I did a video and I had a bet on Jonko Jones, and in my notes, because I'm fucking stupid, I couldn't type in her full name, so I just wrote John Jones. And as I was recording the video, I got confused. I was like, What am I talking about here?
John Jones would commit so many felonies if he played.
Well, hopefully John Kell commits some felonies today.
Oh yeah.
We spoke about her a little bit.
Yeah.
And the one play that I do like is her rebound prop because it is plus money. Her points prop, I completely agree with you. She lacks the aggressiveness at times, doesn't take enough shots, and there are a lot of mouths to feed on this team. But the rebound prop makes a lot of sense to me. I don't care about what's been happening over the last 10. We talk about the Dallas Wings who run these big-ass girls and make them run, and that suits Jonquel Jones to a T. She's going to beat them at the floor every single time, for one. Offensive rebound opportunities are going to be there for her. Defensive rebound opportunities are going to be perfect because these big girls, like Tierra McCowan especially, she just sits at the top of the key, right? Sets the weakest, well, they're not weak, but like they're effortless screens.
Right.
And she barely rolls. Like,
yeah,
she pops, but then she won't shoot. She'll catch it at the top and just hold it, waiting for Enrique to come off for a hand. Like, she's just standing there. Jonquel Jones is not going to get a defensive 3-second today. She's just going to be sitting in the paint waiting for missed shots. And I think if you look at the games that they played earlier, 12 and 13 boards, I get no Sabrina, but Sabrina's not like out here stealing Jonquel Jones rebounds. No. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. So that was just my look for Jonquel Jones. I like the rebounds, and it's plus money, and I get easily excited by stuff like that. So
8.5 plus money, I might just steal that from you too.
No, don't do that. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Hey, I'll bet Jonquel Jones rebounds for sure.
Hammer it.
If you're just tuning in, I came up with it.
Scary Terry 8 boards. Is that T-Rex? Fuck, I can't believe I haven't thought of the scary. Is it? She's got T-Mac, T-Rex, Scary Terry.
That's good.
That's a good one.
I mean, I know it's stealing, but like it's still really good, especially because she's like 4 inches taller than Scary Terry, probably.
Yeah, she is. And about 80 pounds. All right, T-Mac. Man, I'm telling you, I've loved betting on Tierra McCowan this season. Because she's the bitch or beast. Like, she's the queen of the bitch and beast. She's like the Miles Turner of the WNBA. And to summarize Tierra McCowan, on the road, it used to be just take her under every single time. And at home, you take her over because there's such a drastic difference in minutes and her output. And then she went on this hot streak here, right? She went crazy. And I was like, no surprise. These are all home games. Until she got to Atlanta and still got 11 rebounds. And I was like, she's starting to buck the trend here. But then on the road against Chicago, without Angel, still only got 7 rebounds. Dallas are at home today. But her line is at 9.5, you see? You used to be able to get this at 6.5. And then me being a crazy fucker, I'd bet at the 6.5. I'd bet the 10. I'd bet 13. I'd bet 15 rebounds. And then laugh all the way to the bank. And then get my home loans denied. But so I didn't take any bets on Tierra McCowan today because this matchup is somewhat difficult. Under in both games against the Liberty this season, I get both of these were on the road though. So I'd lean to, but 9.5, I think that line is just outrageous.
Yeah.
Based on what I have had before. Like if it was the first time looking at this and I'd never bet on Tierra McCowan, I'm like, yeah, fair enough. 9.5 is not a bad line. At these odds, it makes sense. But I've seen enough of her games, so like, I'm not touching 9.5. Yeah, that's just my opinion. What are your thoughts?
Same. Like I'm in, and I remember taking her at 6.5 a couple times, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Once you look, if the number's 9.5 and she was averaging 11, right, and you're like, all right, like there's one extra one in there, and that was over a very long period of time, then I feel a lot better about this. But 9.5 is the number of a person who just been doing this the whole time, not for a stretch of like 6 games at home. So, is she capable of it? Yes, we know she is. That doesn't mean that this is a good matchup or a good moment in time to feel like she's going to be doing that. If it's not on the offensive boards against the Liberty, they don't give up. Like they get their offensive boards as well. So like defensive rebounds aren't a guarantee for McCowan in this game, the way the Liberty crashed the boards. And like you said, her offensive rebounding is going to have to be because she's running full speed from the 3-point line where she's setting screen after screen because that's her main job. So, and
she times it perfectly. Yeah. Like even if you look at it on the season, right? She, despite this massive stretch of rebounding, she's averaging 8 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
And in these games, she's not playing more minutes than her average. She's still playing about 25 to 27 minutes.
Right.
So the line is inflated due to her recent form and consistency. But again, this is distorted because a lot of these are home games. Her home and away splits are ridiculous.
What's the correlation here between Sabali being back too?
with Satu.
Yeah.
I couldn't find that.
What's the first date?
correlation.
The first date where like she got 11.
Yeah.
What date
Satu
is
came
that?
back here. So there were 3 games with
Yeah.
Satu in the lineup where she went under,
Yeah.
and then she went crazy.
Yeah. So it's not like we could really make a connection there either.
No, but a lot of this is like 2 out of these first 3 games with Satu back were on the road. So she wasn't great. Came back home, big homestand, and she went crazy. I think I was talking about it in your Discord, and I was like, maybe she gets better food at home. They don't feed her well on the road. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't travel well at all. Like, I'm terrible when I travel. I'm fatigued. I'm tired. It ain't my thing. And maybe she gets a bit of vertigo. Who knows? But now we're just making assumptions, right?
Yeah, we are.
What I can tell you, on the road, she's not great. At home, she's a beast.
Yep.
She's at home today. So if I was going to bet Tierra McCowan, the only bet that I'll be making is for her to get like 13 rebouns.
Yeah. Just go all the way in on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have to bet too much. That's the way that I'm thinking.
Yep.
Sabali under AR. Let's check out Satu. Damn pretty girls. Destroying my bankroll. How dare they? All right. So we're looking at rebounds and assists, I think. And I've just lost the ability to read. No, it's just not up here. But let's just look at the PRA just so we can get a good sample size of everything that's been happening. She's 10 games back now. I've found it difficult to bet on her, to be honest. She shoots at a high percentage, but sometimes the volume's not there. Rebounds very well, depending on the matchup. And this is Tierra McCowan. That's why I couldn't fucking find it. JTS. And she also dimes up Satu. So, but the rebounds and assists have been hitting quite well as of late. I have noticed that. Let's take a look. 7 out of her last 10, averaging 11.1, lines at 10.5, minus 132 though. Up against a Liberty team that, for the most part, they don't rebound and allow too many assists to the forward position. Somewhat loose, but I don't put too much stock into that. She's played the Liberty twice though since she's come back. 9 rebounds and assists, followed up by 12 rebounds and assists. So, yeah, I can't find an angle here. The only look here is like, yeah, she hit it 5 out of her last 6, but I can't explain why she will hit it again today.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. I mean, you're saying you don't have enough like matchup data to make you feel good about it.
Yeah, I just don't have an insight. I don't have an angle. I can't tell you why she goes under. I can't tell you why she goes over. I can tell you she's hit it in 5 out of her last 6. That is good. But what that also means is like she's hit it over 5 out of her last 6, right? She's averaging 11 over her last 5, lines at 10.5. It's like the sports books know she's hit it 5 out of her last 6 as well, but they still set the line at 10.5, right?
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
So, and this is just, so
rebounds and assists.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything for the matchup that would lead towards that. I was thinking just go for the points at 17.5.
That's pretty low.
It is. And I mean, she's only played 11 games this year. So the thing is, she hasn't like the average, her average points is at 18.5. And that, if you look at the average, that scares you. But the 3 unders were hella under, if you will.
Yeah.
Right? It was like 10 points, 12 points, 12 points.
And we got 2 games against the Liberty as part of the sample size as well. A bitch or a beast effort. 24 points in one, 10 points in the other. Yeah. But this was a back-to-back set, right? Yeah. And in that second game, bullshit happened.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think the points you can get minus 110. I'm good with that number for 17.5. Really, it comes down to like volume would be something too. Like, is she going to take 11 shots? Is she going to take 15 shots? She can take 15 shots. I freaking love this bet. She can take 11. I don't quite know. If you look at the Liberty defense,
one thing that scared me off from taking this bet was this overperformance against the Liberty. 5 from 8 from deep.
Yeah.
And she's yet to replicate that in any game since. Yeah. So that's a clear outperformance by, you could say, 6 to 9 points, because she's usually making 2 to 3, and she made 5 in this game. So that brings her down to about 18 points, 15 to 18. So then I'm like, shit, maybe this line's right. It's like, maybe there's no edge here for me to take.
Yep.
So,
Free Sauce was bringing up Mabry. Ken Hatt was bringing that up too. Mabry points.
Let's go, Mabry.
Free shots. I was also talking about assists. He's got some nice hit rates there for her in recent games.
Let's talk about it. Firstly, 11.5. That's lower than my self-esteem, baby. 6 out of her last 10, averaging 13.4. When she's moved into this bench role, she's been an absolute beast. Only scored 10 points in that last game against the Spark in 26 minutes.
Yeah.
4 from 11. You could say that she's probably down 1 attempt. She shot poorly from downtown, 2 from 7. So you could say that there's an opportunity here to the over. My hood mathematics tells me she goes over today.
Yeah. I'm just confused overall, and another reason I stayed away from this game. Like, how did this team get worse at shooting when they got Marina Mabry? The Sun have dropped now. I think they're like 7th in effective field goal percentage or something, where they were like 4th before the trade.
Yes.
That has been wild to me. Now, the Mabry numbers themselves, what she had about 10 games now, right, with this team. So it's
11
a
or
good
12 maybe. So yeah.
Yeah.
You got a good sample size.
Yeah. So it's a decent enough sample size. The volume is there. I was also like, how is the Carrington, Ty Harris,
The dynamic
and Mabry? What's going to happen there? Like, it's kind of like Spider-Man meme to a degree. Although I would say like,
I think they found their rotations now. I think
you think they found them?
Yeah, and maybe the spark plug off the bench. Just give her the green light.
Yeah,
because she's their weakest defender as well.
Yeah.
So play her off the bench against the other team's second unit and let her go to work is the recipe, which is why she's been doing well. So I like the over in her points. This is an underperformance for her. 2 from 7. I'd say half of these were wide open.
Yeah.
She could definitely be better in this game. So actually, that game doesn't start for a while. So I'll probably put a bet down for Mabry.
Well, what's up with the time?
Hey?
What's up with the assist is like,
this is what's up.
She's another one though. 4, 4, 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
She averages 4. She's hit this in 18 of her last 20.
But different role, different team, but
right. That's true. So the first game was the first game back, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that is
it was against Dallas.
Yeah, so that is 11 games that she's played with this team. She's over in 7 of 11.
Yeah.
But in this time frame, she's also averaging 3 because she could easily get 1.
Yes.
Never gotten more than 5.
The ceiling is 5 in this Connecticut Sun team.
But you're getting plus 134 for the dimes.
So
they want you to take that. What does Outlier say about how the assist versus allowed? It looks like 10 overall.
Yep. 10th to guards.
10 versus guards.
Yep.
134 is worth a sprinkle.
You want to sprinkle on it?
I don't have any. I haven't seen anything within the offense that it's like other than teams running her off of the line, and that allows her to like step in and find an open.
Resources called this out.
What's
she hit it in every road game since she's joined the Sun.
She likes that Connecticut weather for shooting.
On the road.
Playing in a casino. Playing in a casino.
Yeah, it makes sense. Honestly,
that does make sense. Plus 134 is really calling to me. That might.
I'll tell you guys what the risk is, though. This is the risk. I like Mabry's points to go over. I think she shoots better, and if she shoots better, she's going to shoot more. So that could reduce the potential assist volume. Yeah. But if you think about how these people get a lot of their assists in this Connecticut Sun, right? It's a lot of fucking drop-offs to Brianna Jones or Dejanay Carrington on the break. So even if Mabry's on fire, that doesn't stop the drop-offs to Brianna Jones, and it won't stop Dejanay running. So
makes sense.
At the same time, look, I think it's worth a sprinkle. Free source, get on it. Yeah,
it's a good find. Yeah,
that's a good look. I'm going to do some parlay signs for Marina Mabry, especially if I can catch these 2.5 assists.
Yeah,
I'll probably put it 15 points and 2.5 assists. Let's go. Why not?
I like it. Yeah, that's good.
Another one. We got Ryan Howard for rebounds. I've made a bet on Ryan Howard rebounds once. It was like in the last week or two, and it was terrible. I could probably see it on the graph here. It was probably this game against the Seattle Storm where she got 1, and I put her down for 7. I put her down for 10. Like, there's a big rebounding game because she got like 10 rebounds there last game against the Storm. I was like, this is a good matchup for her. 1 fucking rebound. Anyway, we're not here to hear me complain. Over 4.5, minus 110. She's playing massive minutes. Antoine Anthony. But she doesn't hit this number very well as a late. Matchup against the Lynx, you could say, is probably good. They don't rebound particularly well. She's over in all 3 games against them, 5, 5, and 9. So this is a scenario that you encounter quite often, actually. It's like this player eats this team alive, but lately they can't do it. So it's like, which side do you lean more towards?
Yeah. Yeah, you really got to have. Well, I mean, to be, in her favor is the fact that, once again, this team doesn't rebound very well for the Lynx outside of Collier, to be honest, and a little Alana Smith. But
you know what I do in these scenarios? It's like, because I'm good at identifying why things happen. I can probably tell you why, if I looked into it, why she didn't rebound well in these games. And I can tell you why she got a lot of rebounds against Minnesota if I looked into it. What I've found fucks me is understanding what's happened in the past doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
So take Ryan Howard, for example, against fucking Seattle. So you also have to understand what's happened and will it happen again. One thing that helps, though, is if you go back and look into similar type of players that the Lynx have played in recent time, similar positions, guarding the same player, to see, are they getting rebounds too?
Sure.
Because if they are, Howard's got some length to her at her position. She could definitely get some boards, and we know she's going to play a ton of minutes, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
That would be helpful. But the boards for me, for her, like, especially since I already have a bet on her, it's not much worth a look.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's do one more. Shit, this dream game is about to start, and I'm gotten excited, and I want to put more bets down. So, one thing I want to get your thoughts on, because I bet this, but I feel like a lot of people are going to bet this, and that makes me a bit uncomfortable, is Brianna Jones points and rebounds. Looking at the over here, plus money at the time. Not plus money anymore, but decent odds, minus 114. So basically, the summary for Brianna Jones here is this matchup is ideal. This Sparks team have just been getting feasted on the inside after Cameron Brink fucked her legs up. Brianna Jones taken advantage of that matchup, 21 points, 9 rebounds in that last outing. She's hit this in 4 straight games, and she's given it to them in 2 straight, 15 and 7, followed up by 21 and 9. The Spark don't have any size. She gets offensive rebounds like a beast in this. And she already shoots 60 to 65% from the field all the time. And if they're second last in points of the paint, Brianna, it just makes so much sense to take the over. So I fucking bet it. But when it's that easy, it doesn't necessarily work out for me. But what are your thoughts? So give me your hesitations. But play devil's advocate for me.
My thing with Brianna, and you're looking at the PNR, right? Yeah, combined.
Yes.
So my thing for that is actually my initial lean was the under for her. It is in part because of Hamby, which is somewhat contradictory to my
who Pete.
What's that?
Pete Davidson.
Yeah, to Pete Davidson, because I don't know if she's going to come out with superpowers or not. But that's part of why I, once again, as my excuse, stayed away from it. But the lean for the under was a lack of need for Brianna Jones, and the fact that, like, honestly, what's interesting about her points too is does seem to come off of fast breaks at times.
Like,
she runs the floor really well.
She's trucking it up there, you know.
Yeah, she runs the floor really well. She's kind of like John Quell Light almost, but Johnny Light. So like, with all that said, like, if you think Hamby's going to come out and try on the boards, right? Like, we both prefer the points under for Hamby, right? That's where you were leaning as well,
yes.
I believe. Yeah, and I'm on the same boat.
The boards get risky as part.
Yeah, the rebounds what become risky. Her defense on Brianna Jones could still be there. I think she has enough self-respect to be like, I might not be shooting as much. And maybe
Azura Stevens.
What's that? Or Azura Stevens. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it could be Azura Stevens. So yeah, it was mostly that down low. Like, the only thing the Sparks do well is rebound, and by well I mean like not the worst in the league, like they are in almost everything else. So they're like 6th essentially. So it just wasn't worth it for me for Brianna Jones, but the lean was to the under in the event that they don't really need her that much, and they're happy to get some other players in there. Same with Wagner, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. I think my risk in this is that matchup with Azura Stevens, who's being strongly encouraged to take more 3-pointers,
shoot from deep.
Yeah, that could potentially pull her out of position,
right?
But at the same time, she's been. What I love about this play for Brianna Jones is she actually scores quite a few points, getting an offensive rebound and putting it back. Like, it's delicious when that occurs. In that last game, it happened 3 times. Offensive rebound to a putback.
Oh my
That's
god,
6
it's the
points and
best thing
3
ever.
boards already,
Yeah,
and that hasn't come from a set. It's
yeah,
not part of her regular usage. So that's why she gets slightly higher volume against these teams.
right,
Plus that, just following Alyssa Thomas on the break, like she's
right.
playing running back. Alyssa Thomas is the QB, and yeah, it's just
Yeah,
working.
it's mostly gonna be for me like minutes. Like this game could either be like a 17-point blowout, or it could be like within 8 points the whole time, and then I'm just
Yeah,
kind of like sweating,
yeah,
more
yeah,
than
yeah.
anything.
I'm with you. I get the risk. It's like there's just a lot of players like I just can't not take it because
Yeah,
I'll kill myself if it doesn't
if
happen.
they hit and I didn't bet it, I feel it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm with it.
All right, cool.
Sure, bro.
Well, let's wrap this shit up because I got some
Sure.
games to watch and some bets to put down. I appreciate y'all for jumping in. This was a hell of a lot of fun. We'll be sure to do some more of these over the coming weeks,
Yeah.
provided that the schedule permits. Let's start plugging some shit. So I got some VIP picks. My link, it's in my video description. I've actually created a specific discount code, especially just for this stream. So you can use the code live and you'll get 60% off my VIP picks if you're interested. Josh, what do you want to plug? What do you got?
Just the YouTube stuff.
Yep.
I am going to be, I told everybody recently, but I'll softly say it here as well. I'm be getting picks up on WAP.com starting at the end of this week. But the Discord is still going to be free for everything except for my picks and write-ups. So if you want to jump in there, and then YouTube every day, going to be doing that, and starting a Friday NFL show for those of y'all that are out here liking the NFL. I got a pretty good NFL guest, somebody who covers the 49ers. And definitely gambles as well on sports. And Dieter is really, really good. So we're going to be looking at like best bets and a couple little parlays, all that kind of stuff.
Beautiful. I love it. All right, gang. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Later.